There we go. Now it's unmuted. Take two. Here we go. Yeah, Taco Tuesday. It is that time. Hello, everybody. God bless you guys. Man, why am I sitting on like this all weird? Anyway, what's going on, y'all, man? God bless you. It is.
Hi, guys.
That time of the day. Time of the week, I mean. It is Tacos and Testimonies with Gabby, as you seen on the flyer.
And young Zeke.
And young Zeke in the building there. Let's say what's up, man.
You say hi?
Let's say what's up to everybody. We got young Zeke.
Say hi.
Hi, Daddy.
Over here.
Over there it is. Not you. Do. Okay. All right. So as you know, this is my wife's special project, man. So she is ready to go. And
Hi, guys. We actually have tacos tonight.
we do. Because we heard y'all complaints, David. We heard y'all commentaries, so we are locked in.
Yes. Good ideas, though.
Mm-hmm.
Good ideas for the
Everyone
making
except
tacos.
David. Yeah. I'm just kidding.
Anyways, our guest here is Eric.
Hi, I'm special
This
guest.
is Eric Saya.
Hello, husband of Gabriela Saya. That's me.
See, I wasn't gonna put that in just yet.
I'm just kidding.
But anyways, I'm gonna be in the kitchen. We're gonna go in between.
Yep.
You guys will see what I'm cooking up. Well, this guy
starts doing what
goes
it
in on his whatever testimony he's sharing, because I don't even know what testimony he's sharing. So
yeah, that's the thing. So appreciate the questions and the interviewing structure of all this. So yeah, let's get to it. Looking good. Thank you. I'm excited. Listen, y'all. Hey, which I'm about to switch over so people at home can see what they be talking, right? Like, wait, Gab's in the kitchen. What do you mean? Whatever are you referring to? And it's like, whoa, look at that. She's in the kitchen. How did that happen? Cinematic magic. She's doing a thing. See, as you can see, she's washing her hands. My girl is on point with everything from sanitation to cooking some fire food. If you know, you know. You know what I mean? Johnny, God bless you, bro. Good seeing you, man. But yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and back on me, man. Put the camera on me, man. Yeah. Sorry. So this is gonna be a little different because the first episode, my wife just shared her heart with everything and a powerful testimony. If you have not looked into it already, go ahead and go to the Remnant page. Just search up tacos and testimonies. The first episode's there. My wife shared something amazing where literally it was a miraculous work of God in her life. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but tap in. So with all that being said, let's get the formalities out of the way.
Actually, you're gonna have to put it back over here because
Yeah.
I'm gonna show them the meat.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
You know,
It's get it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. So listen. So we got home a little bit ago, right? And we was
Is it you or?
No, you ready?
No,
Yeah.
no, go ahead.
So we got home, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do a little something different. I'm gonna try something new." Fam, she put it on the pressure cooker, and you know when you have to like vent it out, that's the way I said. Like just get the pressure out, and like you smell whatever's in there. You gonna find out what time it is, bro. The whole house smelled so dang. So I am so excited to find out what it is. Okay, I'm putting the camera on you.
It's not on me. So
Oh, it is not. Okay. Oh, that thing's not. Oh, I think the little thing turned off.
I needed to go
Oh, okay. We'll
on that side.
yeah, we'll get it figured out here. It's all right, guys. We just got some new toys and new stuff going on. There you go. And then do the
Okay.
There we go. All right, switching over.
So
Mhm.
this is the meat. I slow cooked it for 4 hours. Thank God for an Instant Pot. But I'm just about to smash it and make it into, getting it to be in a taco.
There we go. Yep. All right, that's gonna be bomb. Sorry, I had the thing muted, so we're good. They heard you though. They heard you at home. But yeah, that she gonna be making that as we're talking. So, all right, let's get to it. So my testimony, right? For you guys that know or have either been around me or probably heard me yapping in some sort of format, whether it's through my life, through the Cutie Music, through Remnant, just different things, right? You guys know that I grew up in church. Like that was my upbringing, right? I was born and raised in LA. If you know, you know. Like I was during the late '80s, early '90s. We grew up in the full, like I'm talking like apostolic, like holiness is right, like ministerios Elim kind of thing. You know, llamada final, and like I'm talking about like, dude, like Disney was the devil, right? If you looked in their general direction, like you gonna burn and turn. Like I'm dead serious. That's what I grew up in. So, one thing I will say is that regardless of your background, regardless of your story, regardless of the things that you've gone through, regardless of the things that you feel like you're too far gone or like it's just all of this is a lie or whatever it is, right? Everyone has their unique experience that they dealt with as far as, what's it called? The life that they lived, what their childhood looked like, what their adolescence looked like, if their parents were there, their support system, all these different things, right, that can make or break someone. Because I've, myself included, where we could have had everything as far as the perfect circumstances, as far as everything all set up, like you could still make a choice selfishly onto a path of destruction. You could still choose to go down somewhere else that doesn't lead to life but to death. And because of various reasons, it's not birria. It's I don't even know what to call it, but it's beef. It's the res.
It's basically pretty much very close.
Very close. Very, very close. So it's what's it called? So that doesn't matter. I'm gonna switch over to you, baby, because look at that thing. Look at that. Look at that food right there. She grilling right there, man. She putting the cheese on the tortilla real quick, just to let you know. You know, this ain't microwave. This is all homemade. So then, with that being said, I grew up in church, right? Parents were fully invested. Like the church I grew up in, where we were going to service 3, 4, even 5 times a week, and these services were like marathons. I'm talking about like 3, 4, 5 hours, and Sundays. Ooh, it was Sunday mornings and Sunday evenings. Like we're talking about like that was just my life, right? And the thing is, and I shared this with my group yesterday, right? With my Bible study group. So, which little plug, if you or anyone of the brothers, of the men that are looking for fellowship with other brothers across the country, or looking for just somewhere that's beyond your local congregation, you should be plugged into a local church. Looking something to supplement and just be connected with brothers. Kingdom Music, we have the men's discipleship group. And we now offer it in Spanish, and I'm the one currently running the men's Spanish group. So, plug aside. So I was telling my guys last night that, the thing is, like, we tend to when we come out the other side of church hurt, or unfortunately people never come out of it, people never make the decision to deal with it or heal from it or move and forgive those people that, you know, that did them harm. Like, the thing is, like, the church I was a part of, like, they never intended to hurt me. They never had malicious intent behind the stuff that they taught, the stuff that they said, the double lives that they lived. Not everyone, of course, but with that being said, and God bless, and I honor my mom and my dad, right? Like, I don't come out here to bash on them, but they did the best that they could with what they had. So it was a lot of like that double living, right? And I won't say which parent specifically, but, well, I'll just say it was my dad, right? Because I can say that now because he's a different person. He's a different man than what he used to be, right? He would just play the church game and then be someone else behind closed doors or once the church stuff was done. So that's all I knew. That's all I saw. So when I was 18 years old, at this point in time, or excuse me, I was 16, 17, there was a point in my life where myself, my older brother, one of my younger sisters, and my dad were all involved in the worship team of this church that I was a part of. And we were in it. We were invested. My parents were on the way of becoming like deacons and elders of that congregation. Long story short, what ended up happening, there was I guess you could say, a family secret of sorts that came to light, that got exposed. And to me, it completely rocked my world because the way I saw it, I looked up to this person with such respect, with such awe, and with the constant, and again, not malicious, but the constant comparison to become like this person in my family. I at first there was resentment, but then we came to a place where we started even having a relationship, right? And I looked up to this person, but I didn't realize till down the road that it was actually borderline idolization. Because what ended up happening is that once this secret came out, it caused me to be so confused, so angry, so pain struck that I did not know how to project or where to take this pain from, because this family member made the decision to walk away from the things of God, to walk away from church and start living the lives that they wanted to choose to live for themselves, right? They said, forget all this, I'm out. And in response, because I did not understand why this was happening, again, I grew up in an environment where there was a lot of religion, a lot of legalism, is that if you do this and this and this, then you'll get this in return, which is like, you know, oh, God's going to answer your prayers, or God's going to do this for you, or this is what's going to happen, or, you know, this type of stuff, it's going to occur, or like if these things start happening in your life, that means there's sin, there's something that you're doing wrong, or something that you failed in, right? So that condemnation came in. So I didn't know where to take all this hurt and anger, so the only person I could turn it to was to God. So this was in 2000, when did I work Sonic? So this was around 2007, right? I was still a young buck, right? 16, 17 at the time, and I didn't know what to do with it, so I projected that anger at God, and I said, you know what, God, if you allow this to happen in my family, right, my mom's doing this for you, she's a praying woman, I hear her every morning crying out in her prayer closet, in her secret place, literally just weeping and crying out for us, and in spite of all this, like, this is how you treat, and again, like, this was me justifying my anger, like, this is how you're gonna pay back my mom? Then God, I want nothing to do with you. Like, we good. Like, I'm out of here. Right? So that was when I made the decision. I dropped the worship team. I walked away from church. I stopped going. At first, like, you know, just to kind of ease my mom because she was going through a difficult time with these circumstances. And it's so funny, too, because, again, we try to justify, like, I don't want to hurt someone. I don't want to do this to people. And I'm going to go ahead and be just as sneaky, just as lying and deceitful. So I would use my job, which I was working at Sonic at the time, to say like, oh, I can't make it to church, or I can't do this or that. So I would just pick up all these extra hours. And then that's what I would start going out to start, you know, drinking and party, kicking it at the kickbacks and stuff. Because in high school already, like I was, you know, that's probably a different story, where I was back, you know, 1 foot in the world, 1 foot in the church, literally. Because there'll be some nights I would sneak out. Sorry, Mom. This is how you're going to find out. Sorry, Mama. I would sneak out and like get picked up by the homies, and we just go, you know, kick it and be drinking. And You know, I was probably like, 13, 14. Again, church boy. My first rebellion, right? Like, I was doing all this stuff. But at 18, 17, 18, I said, I'm done. Like, so I walked away. So that's when I started just doing my own thing. I was in a place just trying to find a way to fill this void. So that's when I started, you know, making secular music with my best friend, Lone KM. For some of you people that know him by that name that he makes music videos. But that dude's been my best friend for like 15 plus years. So we started doing our thing. So for 6-7 years, I was just out living life the way I wanted to. Partying, drinking, sleeping around, kickbacks, doing, you know, like these rap shows, all these things. And yet every night I just knew, because again, remember, I grew up in church. In spite of all of that, the word of God was still being instilled in me, because I still remember clearly moments where I would be just, honestly, just faded, right? Just drunk out of my stinking mind, looking around, being in a place where you would think I'd be like, oh man, like everything's good. These are my people. You know, I'm getting attention. I got, you know, the best liquor, this and that. But the moment of sobriety, in a sense of like knowing in my head, I'm like, I don't belong here. This is not who I am. Why do I keep lying to myself? Now I would constantly run away from that by continuing to go down the path of addiction, going down the path of trying to cope and numb and to deal with this stuff. So from 2007 to 2012, I was just in this path of self-destruction, right? So all this to say that, so in late 2011, I had a really nasty breakup with my last ex at that time, right? That it was from a place of being taken advantage of emotionally, being betrayed and lied to. And that really put me in a place of a lot of anger, of a lot of self-loathing, of depression. My drinking and all that stuff got out of control. So there was months of being in that self-destructive state where I was literally showing up to work like drunk, high, or both. Like there was not a moment during that period of time where I was not sober. And it's funny enough, like I knew this was God ordained, because this was probably late June of 2012. Oh girl, what you doing over there? Hold on. Let's show you cooking. Ooh, she getting that thing ready. Hold on, she dicing. Yeah, look at it. She dicing the, yep. Yeah, we see it. Yes, sir. Just know them tacos is on the way. So if you hear that, all that, she making it happen. Yeah, David, what's up, boy? See the tacos is happening. Hold on, I'm gonna put it one more time. One more time, guys. I'm not getting distracted, okay? I promise you. Look, the tacos is
actually
in rap. Yeah. What that is? Oh, what that is? I can't wait. Thank you, mama. Sorry. Back to the segment. What, baby? Hold on, baby. Let's talk. So at that point, like I said, I would always be like, you know, smoking weed in between breaks, before work, in between breaks, after work, like every time. I just need to be smoking, because without the marijuana, like without me being in a place of like just trying to forget my problems, I would be faced with the reality of everything. So funny enough, right after lunch, the high just happened to go away a lot quicker. And I used to be a mail sorter, right? Just sorting mail in a mailroom. Reality hit me so hard. I was in these narrow aisles and I just broke down. I hadn't cried like that in months. Soberly, right? Drunk, that's a whole different story, right? If you know, you know, right? You over here, as soon as Chente gets on, you know, you just, you know, it all comes out, right? But at this moment, the reality hit. Mind you, this was from 2007 to 2012. I was angry at God. Very few far in between I would even want to talk to him, or, you know, even address him or look in his general direction. Like, I honestly, there was a time I did hate God. I was so angry at him. I was so resentful with everything that had happened, and I felt like it was all his fault. But at that point, I was just looking down crying, and I said, God, if you still care, do something. And I kid you not, that came from like, dude, that was my I'm done moment. That was my moment where I said, I give up. I don't know where else to go. I don't know what else to do. This is it. This is all I have. This is all. If you still care, do something. It wasn't no altar call. It wasn't because no preacher came down to the aisle, like found me in my freaking little mailroom in Beaverton, Oregon. Like, it was just me right then and there. Those few words, sincere. And sorry, excuse me. It was late July, not late June of 2012. July of 2012. Then a week later, one of our partners, me and Lone's partners that we used to rap with a few years prior, he reached out to us saying like, "Hey man, like I got a spot so that we can set up our studio, right? Like if you guys want to come through and set this up, we can get going, right?" And we hadn't talked to this dude in a couple years, so it was good to catch up. So we started talking to him, and it's just funny enough because what got me going was he's like, "Dude, I actually stumbled into like the Illuminati and conspiracy theories and all these crazy things." I'm like, "Bro, you crazy, right?" So then sure enough, here I go on the YouTube, right? Start looking on my own videos, and I'm like, "Oh my God." Like it's crazy. But unlike the whole, tinfoil hat theory, like my train of thought was, again, the word of God instilled in me, right? Psalms 1. Can I show this? Can I show this? Hold on, man. Look at it. 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 Oh, look at it. And now you can't have no, David.
Try it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we're going to
So I did something different with that.
Did you now? Yeah. Try this right there. All right, guys. Hold on. ASMR. Fam. Yo. Nah, forget those birria tacos we had on the weekend. I'm not telling you where it's from, but...
That's so bad.
Yo. Tacos and testimonies. Everybody. Ahí está. Eso es todo. So, sorry, I'm gonna finish this taco. Hold on before I can. This is crazy, dude. Yeah. Yo. Oh, what's up, big head? Fred Mendes, love you, brother. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Boy, I'm not done yet. So, what's it called? Yeah. Yeah. Bruh. Oh, yeah, I'm about to give you the whole play by... Oh, baby,
Ezekiel.
can you go watch Mickey Mouse, please?
Ezekiel.
Go. Okay, thank you, my love. You want to get some, okay?
Come here, please.
So then, instead of my mind being like, "Oh my God, the government and all crazy," because I knew the word, I said, if all of these things that are occurring, the evil of men, how the enemy is letting these things unfold, or should I say, people are allowing the enemy to unfold these things through them. If all this wickedness, the word talks about it, right? Mm-hmm. Hold on. We'll put the camera on you, girl.
No.
Nah. Just show him. Just show him the dip. That's it. Let's show him the dip. Show him the dip. Ooh, man. I'm trying to keep talking. That's why I don't get distracted. So, when all that happened, I said, if the evil and the wickedness is true, how much more are the promises of God, the goodness of God, the loving kindness of God? Ezekiel, I need you to go, please. Thank you, my baby. How much more is that going to be true? Right? So my head was just spinning. I'm like, God, this is nuts. Like, this is the reality. I've been putting my head in the sand, and I've been just so caught up in my own hurt and my own pain. And yet all these things are unfolding. All this stuff is happening where innocent people are being like in some cases murdered, taken advantage of, pilfered. Like, just all these things are happening. And your church, your people, we're so caught up in the wrong stuff. And this knucklehead, this big head, is caught up in all my own stuff. So, bear with me here. Yes, sir. Apostle George, God bless you, sir. This is Gabby's project. It's Tacos and Testimonies. So, like Taco Tuesday here in the United States, where it's kind of an unofficial kind of day of the week. Yeah, unofficial, official, like holiday thing, right? Where Taco Tuesday, right? So we're just incorporating that because it's Tuesday night. Gabby made some of her homemade tacos, and we're just gonna have testimony. So it's not gonna be us. We're gonna have different people on here sharing a testimony, and I'll get to my point, guys. I promise. Oh, yeah. Come on, Jesus. Glory! It is dank. Oh my God, I'm trying so hard, and then I keep eating. So bear with me here. I need to get the exact date right. So this was August. Bear with me. This was August 23rd, 2012. So I'm still, doing my thing. I'm still drinking. I'm still smoking. I'm still just living it, yucking it up, the party life, right? So I go after work. I go to one of my homegirls' house, right? AKA my marijuana buddies, right? We would always that's all we would do, just sit around and get high. So I show up, and just the usual, right? I show up to her apartment, right? Had a couple friends already there. So it gets to our marijuana session, right? Now, the disclaimers, right? Just so people are not like, oh, well, because of this and this is why the following happened, right? So this particular supply that I had was not laced with any other drugs, right? Because I used it prior, so there was nothing wrong with that. And I had a high tolerance, so it would take a lot for me to reach a certain point where I was like, things were happening, right, that were out of the normal. So with that being said, so I arrive, we sit down in the living room, we just start, doing the usual, putting on TV, just something to watch. And I hadn't really consumed much, right, at this point. And my friend puts on a segment of someone talking about, like, oh, this is how you can create music using synthetic sounds from a computer, right? And so then all of a sudden it started playing like this sound, and it's like a just a pitch sound, just boo, right? And I'm like, well, this is kind of crazy. Next thing you know, if you guys have ever had this before, you get what's called sleep paralysis, right? When you're having a nightmare, or even when you wake up and you're unable to move, and you guys that are in the spiritual realm, that get attacked demonically, those things that attempt to try to cover your mouth to not speak or to not move or to not just be literally paralyzed, right? So this happened in my waking moment. So I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like, oh girl, you lucky. I was about to put the camera. Hold on. I'm gonna put that one more time. Just to see the grill. Just to see the grill. See the grill. I'm gonna zoom in. Yeah.
Can you zoom in?
I sure can. Yeah. Me neither. I just figured that out. Yeah. Anyway, back to me, man. So, yeah, God bless you, Apostle. So I was paralyzed. I was unable to move. I was only able to move my eyes. I'm like, what is going on here? Because I've had these dreams before, ever since childhood. I knew exactly how these demonic attacks, how it happens. Because the sound became louder and louder to the point that it was resonating in my mind. Right? It was just going on, all these things. I wasn't able to move. I wasn't able to speak. I wasn't able to cry out for help. I'm like, what is going on here? So then as I look down on the living room floor, right? If you guys been to our home, then it was about somewhat the same size. But as far as closeness, right? So I look down on the floor, and there's this medium-sized dog or medium dog-sized demon creature, right? It's on all fours. It's gray, and it had these sharp teeth and these just red eyes, just hissing at me, right? And it was just crawling closer, just hissing at me, and I'm like, oh heck no, there's no way this is happening. There's no way that this is occurring. This can't be happening, right? And I'm like, oh Lord. So then in my head, because of course I grew up in church, I already knew, sangre de Cristo, the blood of Christ, the blood of Christ. Oh Lord Jesus, help me, Jesus, right? So I start praying, and then little by little, I'm actually able to start moving my mouth. So I'm like this. Jesus, Jesus' name. And I knew this was happening because this creature then starts laughing. It starts looking at me and starts laughing with this big old nasty teeth. Best way I could describe it, if you guys know video games, if you guys ever played the old school Contra games, like Contra 1 and 2, or even Contra 3 in the Super Nintendo or the Nintendo, there's this particular alien that has this big head and the sharp teeth sticking out. That's how it looked like. So it's laughing at me. And then all I hear in my head is start playing worship. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about, right? Where am I going to play worship? You're tripping, right? So it just so happened, and I still have this happen to this day. I had my lap on my phone, right? So by this point, I'm able to start.
Phone on your lap.
One of my lap on my
phone.
Because I keep looking at these tacos, man. I'm just going to take one bite, man. One more time. Look, ASMR, see? Yeah. Yep. Oh. Oh my God, it's good. I'm gonna hurry up. So I'm able to finally move my hand. I grab my phone, and this was 2011 or 2012. There was no Spotify, there was no YouTube in the sense it was able to just play right then and there. So I used to just download my MP3s and have a music player where I play it off of my Android. Remember, I was unsaved and unsanctified. I didn't know no better, right? This is before I converted to Apple. But I have my Android phone. I pull it up, and I go through my MP3s. I'm like, it's all secular music, right? It's all rap. It's all this stuff. And sure enough, the only thing that's there is this one worship song or praise song by Danilo Montero. I'm like, this is crazy. So then I finally was able to scroll, navigate, and start playing that thing out loud. So then this demon creature starts like shrieking and starts freaking out. By then I start getting a little braver. So I'm like, in the name of Jesus, I rebuke it, I rebuke it. And then finally I can say it clearly, in the name of Jesus, like, and I was saying it in Spanish because, you know, my spiritual warfare goes all the way in like in Spanish. Like that's just how I was taught. So then I start praying, and then this creature goes away. So then I finally was able to get up, and I look at my friends. I'm like, yo, turn this S off. Turn this ish off. And they'll look at me like, what the heck is going on? Like, they pause, like, what's wrong with you, fool? Like, what's going on? I'm like, dude, did you not see what just happened? They're like, no. Like, what do you mean? We just been here for a little bit. Like, it felt like forever, by the way. Like, this moment, it felt like an eternity. Apparently, it was only like a couple minutes. Right, really, when I look back then, like kind of comparing the timestamps, like, yeah, it was only a couple minutes, but it felt so long. So then I'm all freaking out. I'm like, okay, I need to go outside. Like, I need a smoke break. Like, this is crazy. So I step outside. Now, to explain the format of my friend's apartment complex, there was a huge courtyard area, like an open field, and surrounding that courtyard area are these different buildings of the apartment complex, right? Different apartments. Right, so there's a walkway that circles around this whole courtyard area. So I walk outside, and I'm facing the courtyard area, right? So I look to my right, and there are these buildings that are, again, just lining up alongside the courtyard. So I look to my right, the building, I could see the balcony, right, of these people's apartments of that building. And I look up, and there's a man that's standing on the second floor of his apartment, and he has his back towards me, right? He's also doing the same thing, just smoking a cigarette, just doing his thing, chilling. And I'm like, okay, that's a little weird, because he had his balcony door open, so I'm able to sit and see inside his living room, and this dude had a pentagram hanging, like a huge pentagram, just hanging on his wall, with a bunch of candles in the living room. Like, all the candles were just like right there. I'm like, oh, dude, this is crazy. I'm like, that was him. And I sent that to me. Oh yeah, go ahead. So then I'm like, this is crazy. Like, this was real. I'm not tripping. Like, and then sure enough, like you could feel like this heaviness starting to build up and wanted to just drop like a bomb again. So then I start like, I'm like, Jesus, please help me. And sure enough, like, as Jesus is Lord, like the way I'm seeing her right here with her fine self, like the way I'm seeing these delicious tacos right here, like on that walkway appeared an angel that was as tall, more taller than the 2-story apartment buildings that I was on. So that's at least 15, 16 feet. This angel was glowing just like gold, like fire. Like, it was just resplandeciendo. Like, it was just shining so bright. But I was able to make out his features. And it ain't no, little Cupid, baby Cupid with the little butt cheeks hanging out, like all chubby and chunky. Nah, bro, this dude was solid, like poof, like built. You know what I'm saying? Like a fridge. And he was standing on the walkway facing the direction of that building, of that man. And his wings was just spread out. Like, it was fire. Like, he was gold, shining gold and fire. It was just ridiculous. Like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And I'm like, just no way. I even did like one of these. I'm like, dude, it was, yeah. I'm like, I couldn't believe my eyes. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, there's no way. And sure enough, like, I see the guy over there in his balcony kind of start getting nervous, fidgeting around. And then this angel busts out this sword of fire, like, huge blade, dude. Like, just grabs it and goes like this, boom, in attention. And as he did that, his wings, like, flexed in. Like, instead of being spread out, it just went, like, in attention. My guy booked it inside. Well, not my guy, but it's a cuate. That dude just ran inside his apartment. And all I heard a voice telling me, like, it's time for you to go. So then I run back inside. And sure enough, it was probably like a minute or 2, 3 minutes at most. But it felt, again, like another eternity. So I'm like, I gotta go. I just grab all my stuff. And my friend's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, dude, I have to go. I have to go. So then I finally grab myself and I leave. And I get to my car. That was it. I broke down. I said, I'm done. And I break down, and I had not cried like that. Everything came out. And I said, Father, my life is yours. Like, I'm done. I know, right? I agree, Apostle George. It's hard to, I'm just keep looking at these tacos. That's why I keep looking down. One more bite. But I was done. I was yielded. I said, God, I'm done. My life is yours. So August 23rd, 2012 is when this man gave his yes, and I've not looked back since. Have there been moments where I wanted to give up? Oh yeah. That I wanted to spaz out and just go back to my old ways? Absolutely. And I've shared this, like, it's been a process. But every time those things would come up, I would just remember that moment. Because right after I said I was done, after all that I just went through, the love of the Father oversaturated that car. I felt his arms just hugging me, embracing me, saying, son, I'm here. I'm with you. Like, regardless. Like, yeah. And it's funny because years later, God showed me and he reminded me of one particular night when I was in downtown Portland at a club that me and my friends would frequent quite a bit. And this particular evening, it was bad for me, right? And God was bringing this to memory, but the difference is that as I was walking outside the club, he showed me where right outside the doors, he was standing right there, patiently just standing, just watching. He never left me. Even at my lowest moments, even in my place of hurt, of anger, and even though he knew that I was projecting all that towards him, he never took it personal. He never took offense to it because his love is so unconditional. He means what he says, that he will literally love us all the way to the end, even if we choose to not be in eternity with him. Like, I blasphemed his name. I've cussed him out. I've blamed him for things that were not his fault. Right, and that in itself was a whole journey I had to go through, that I had to realize that a lot of things were within me. A lot of my priorities and my focus were on the wrong things. And from there, literally, it was God that taught me how to be a man, taught me how to take responsibility, taught me how to be a person of integrity, of honesty, not perfect, but still striving to live in excellence in everything. But that particular event is what he answered. And again, it didn't take an evangelist or the man of God or the woman of God or anything. No, it was just a very, very broken boy at the time to just say, God, if you still care, do something. He sure did. So that's because I always tell people all the time, I'll tell you about it one time. I'll tell you about it. Like, but this is what happened to me. That night is what literally changed my life. And that's where I experienced both heaven and hell. Like, that's some real stuff, guys. Like, I know Angel Studios with like The Chosen and all these movies, like they're pretty on point with some of the stuff like that. That's the reality of it. So that's what happened, and that's how I ended up here in the state of Utah, because this dude decided to say yes to God. And funny enough, a week later when he told me to quit my job, and I'm like, huh? Quit my job? He's like, yeah, I need you to be for a year just locked in, getting in the Word, serving, learning humility, doing all these things. Because after he confirmed it through a song, I can't remember what's song on the radio played. It was a worship song, something about legacy. I just broke down all I heard him say. There's a few times I heard his audible voice, and he said, Eric, if you give me your life, I promise you I will take you for the ride of your life. And still haven't gotten off this ride since, and don't plan to. So,
well, one thing you said that he just held you, like in the car. He just held you.
He just held me.
And yeah, like when I finally was all in, and I was finally yes, whatever it might come with, I don't know, but yes, I'm gonna say yes. And through that whole time, like, it wasn't just a one and done, like, yes, and everything got perfect, like, right then and there. I woke up and everything was, roses and butterflies and...
Nope.
But through that process of my yes, through actually doing the footwork of, okay, I said yes, but let me start walking it. Let me start doing it. Let me start making the steps that go along with the yes that I said, that I gave. It was like he just held me, like he carried me through a lot of it. Like, there was a lot that I know I couldn't have handled it without him. And it almost felt like he just held me. He just had me.
Yeah.
And it was days of that. And it's crazy because nobody really talks about that part of after the yes. Like, it wasn't I wasn't perfect. I wasn't perfect. I still wasn't perfect. I had so much to learn. And I feel like I'm still learning. Like, I'm not, I'm not done, and I'm never going to be done, but...
Spoiler alerts, it never stops. Never does. And yeah, like...
So,
it's...
yeah, that's one of my favorite parts of hearing his testimonies is there's that experience of, going through that, and the way he just carries you through it.
Yeah.
Because he knows.
He knows.
He knows what we need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So yeah, that is
That's
one of many stories.
We don't know who's next. We'll see.
Yep.
Freddie, Bobby, Shandy,
or if y'all again,
or Richie and Chamonix.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
I'm telling you, if y'all in the Ogden, Utah area, Apostle George, you're more than welcome to come through. If you ever come into town, yes sir, you're more than welcome. Our home is open, and Gabby will get down like Charlie Brown or something. Oof. But yeah, like this is wow, I haven't shut down in a while, so that really stirred me up, reminded me of God's goodness. He really is good. And just know, be encouraged, guys. Like he never stops loving us. He never stops believing in us. He never stops being with us. Like, and some of us can attest to that. I kind of saw the comments of people saying like, "Yep, been there." Like, definitely been in those crossroads, in those moments. Like, and he's there. So,
and also, one of my other favorite parts about talking about what God's doing, like what God's done, like our testimonies, whether it be from way back when or from today, it helps us stay in remembrance of Him. Like if we can constantly stay in a place of remembering what He's done, like that's what He wanted for Israel. Like, just remember what I did. Remember what I did for your ancestors. Like
tell it to your children and their children.
Don't ever
stop.
They made a song about what he did, what he pulled them out of. But that was never, like, I don't think that was ever supposed to stop. And if we can spend time every day to remember the things that He's done in our lives, it'll keep us from going back or thinking the grass is greener on the other side.
Right.
Because sometimes it looks like that when you don't have the support that you need, and maybe you don't have the people that God has for you yet. But just remember, stay in remembrance of what He's done, what He's doing in your life, because I mean, you've seen it for yourself, Yeah. With that being said, we won't be back until next month, the first Tuesday next month. So it'll be every other Tuesday. And that's why I don't want to eat.
Big Ant, I love you, dude. I was just telling. No, babe, wasn't I talking about Big Anthony the other day?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm like, never above you, never below you, homie. I'm like, ooh, Big Ant, my dude. Nah, but love you. But yeah, so because of that, because her tacos are deadly, guys. Like, whoo, I was staring at that plate the whole time. But yeah, first Tuesday of April, who's it gonna be?
Yep.
We about to find out, right, baby? Okay. Well, thank you for having me.
Have a good night.
Thank you for them tacos. And yeah, so we'll see you guys. Thank you, my boo. All right, guys. Good night. We'll see y'all later. Bye.
Bye.